Hello, I'm Matt from Ludochrono, and today I'm going to give you an overview of For the King and Me. For the King and Me is a bidding game and a set collection game for 2 to 5 players ages 10 and up, and it plays for around 30 minutes. In this game you're going to be playing as a noble and you want to acquire the most fame and prestige by gaining the biggest titles and the most titles. If you have the most points at the end of the game, you simply win. To gain a title and its points, you need to collect cards of that set and have the most points of them. So the cards are going to be in the deck and you're going to gain them in two phases. The share influence phase, which is the first phase of the game, and then the gain esteem phase, which is the second phase of the game. During the share influence phase, we are going to be playing turn after turn until the deck runs out. At the beginning of your turn, you will draw a card and look at it secretly. If you think it is good enough for you, you can take it for yourself, but you will have to as well reveal two cards, one for each opponent in this case, because we are 3 players, and place one in the auction deck. So in this case it's 2 gold, it's neither 3 nor 1, it's the middle value of gold, so I will decide to place it here. I will then look at another card, it's 1 gold, it's not the best card in the game, and I will place it here so my opponents will be able to take them. Then I will draw a card. I decide that this 4 is a very good card. It's a suit card from the blue suit. And the suits go from 2 to 4 and these range from 1 to 2. So I will keep that card for myself. And then the next card I will be forced to place it into the bidding pile after looking at it. Then my opponents, starting with this player, are going to select cards, the card of their choosing, and we are going to be simply passing the deck to the next player, who becomes the active player, and so on and so forth. During the gain esteem phase, we are going to bid for cards. So we are going to reveal a card from the deck, and that card is going to be put for sale. And in case of normal cards, we are going to bid with simply gold that we have in our hands. So for example, I will bid 1 for this one, and the next player might say, you know what, 2 gold. That player is going to pass, and I'm going to say 3 gold because I really want this card. This player will pass, so I will win the bid. I will discard 3 gold or more and place that card into my hand. I won the bid. Then we move on to the next card, and we might have gold cards inside the bidding pile. And this is very important because these have a different rule for bidding. You don't bid gold for them, you bid cards from your hand, any cards. So if I bid 1, that player might bid 2, and that player might bid 3 cards. Cards from useless sets or cards that players don't think are useful. So I will pass, that player passes, so that player wins this bid, and they will discard 3 cards without showing them, and then they will gain that card. And we are going to do that until the end of the bidding deck. During the share influence phase or the gain esteem phase, you are going to acquire gray cards as well, and these cards are going to change the value of the titles. Either you increase the value of titles or you decrease it. So in this case, for example, it's a +1 to 1 banner. So for example, if I get this card, I am forced to reveal it, and I will choose the red title to be increased by 1. And the second title gets replaced as well because it is half the value of the first title. Then the card is removed from the game and we can continue playing. So now we are going simply to distribute the titles. So for example, for the orange title, the majority of points is awarded to that player. They take the highest title. I don't have any, and that player has some, so they will take the lowest title. Now, we might have ties. So for example, for the purple title, we have a tie between these players, between me and that player. And to break the tie, we are going to use the signets here that we can find in the bottom corner of the cards. And the closest to A wins the tie. So in this case, A is here, but I have C and D, and the player has E and G. So I will win the tie and get that title, and that player is going to be second. Then obviously we are going to distribute the titles. I get the green one. We total our points, and the highest point total is the winner of For the King and Me. So For the King and Me is at the same time a set collection game in which you try to have the majority of points, but in which you also try to outbid your opponents, but you try also to make them pay for cards they don't need that much. Bye bye, see you on Ludochrono.